Hi there, I'm pretty new to Minecraft, but I decided to challenge myself to survive 100 days on Minecraft Hardcore. So what is Minecraft Hardcore? Well, basically, if you die on Minecraft Hardcore, you lose your whole world. There's no second chances basically. 100 days in Minecraft is basically 33 hours of real time. And with this being my 5th attempt of trying to reach 100 days, you can realize that I put in a lot of time making this video. For that reason, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe, as long as you enjoyed this video of course. As a small channel, I'm aiming to get 1000 subs by the end of this year, so each subscription does mean a lot. Also, a big shout out to Luke TheNotable for inspiring this video. Thanks for listening, and I'll start the show. On day 1, I started my day by punching some trees with my bare hands like any sane person. I then grabbed some coal to keep things lit. I killed a couple of sheep so I could sleep comfy that night in my new dirt palace. This was already a better start than one of my previous attempts where I died to a creeper on day 1. On day 2, I decided to work on my roof. As you can tell, I'm not really good at making roofs. I also built a wheat farm on the front of my house to keep myself from dying of starvation. Day 3, it needed a bit more class in here for this to be called the dirt palace. So I started by adding some wood flooring, already looking a bit more fancier. I then collected some sand so I could make some glass. Look at my view, already looking a bit better. Don't worry, I'll sort the other side out later. I had some door problems on day 4, but I was able to overcome this problem. I was proud of my dirt palace. I know a lot of you are asking, but why? Remember, I'm still new to all this. The rest of the day, I sorted out both sides of the wall. Day 5 was pretty uneventful. I was clearing out the dirt from the right hand side of my house as I needed more space. By the end of day 6, I was able to finally clear all the land. Look at all that land. I can't wait to use it. But before I start, I deserve a good night's sleep. Day 7, I started the day by chopping some trees and trying to save the squid, but I failed. To cheer myself up, I gathered 2 cows on the field above my dirt palace and made a cow farm. I watched them have a baby for the XP. That's the only reason. I'm not weird. Honestly, I'm not weird. You're weird. I also realized I made my pen a little bit too small. So I went around it making it slightly bigger, but ran out of time as the sun was going down and I didn't want to die to any mobs as I had no armor and no sword. On day 8, I was successfully able to expand my cow pen. And then I murdered some sheep as I was hungry and I needed food. I then extended my wheat farm on the right hand side of my house so I could get more wheat and get some more delicious bread. With my stomach full with bread, I decided to mine all the way down to Y11. I was able to find a ravine, and I also found some iron, but I didn't do too much mining as I had plans for day 9. I wanted to extend my wheat farm into a real farm, as growing crops next to the stream was not efficient enough. I added some fishes to the side of my farmland. So far I've named it Fish 1 and Fish 2. I know, real creative. I also made a pair of iron pants with the iron that I collected. I instantly regretted it because I knew I needed an iron pickaxe if I was going to find any diamonds. Oh, look at what I found. If only I made that iron pickaxe. I only have myself to blame. I explored the rest of the ravine, travelling through the sides. Why, you ask? Well, one of my previous playthroughs, when I was exploring the abandoned mine, I was jumped by this crazy creeper. So I didn't want this happening ever again. So I'd rather be safe than sorry and just cut around the ravine and stay on the sides. By the time I came back up, I had no iron and I found out it was raining outside. So I fed my cows because they must have been scared. Then I got back to mining for iron. After a successful mine, I came back with 6 iron orbs. This time there was no mistakes. I made my beautiful iron pickaxe. And you know what the first thing I was going to do with that iron pickaxe? Of course, mine those sweet diamonds. Day 11, don't mind if I do. I found some more diamonds while I was mining redstone. Look at me with 10 diamonds in 11 days. I've never been so rich. It was a nice feeling. You know, I slept happy that night. I finally planted some seeds on day 12 and I wouldn't have to worry about dying of starvation with all that bread that this will produce. I also made a clock. The reason for me making this clock was that I was having a hard time working out what day it was when I was down in the mining area. I also threw away all my stone tools. I'm not sure why, I still need that hoe. Day 13, I needed to make sure the whole area was lit, as you know I have a fear of creepers jumping on top of me. I also made a wall between me and the cows, as I didn't trust them. I came across an unfinished portal right next to my house. While I was lighting the whole area, I was pretty shocked. I lit the whole place up, then I left, as I'm a coward, and carried on lighting the rest of my estate. Day 14, you join me in the mines. Just gathering some diamonds, you know how I roll. I'd like to say that I did more than this, but this really was the most interesting thing that I did all day. On day 15, I felt like you guys were judging me, so I decided to travel and see the rest of the world. On my journeys, I got to the top of this huge mountain, which is where I seen some smoke. It must be a village. So I spent all day running towards the fire. Don't do this at home, kids. But on the way, I got tired and not scared, so I went to bed. Early on day 16, I was able to find a village hidden in the woods. They didn't have much loot, but they did have books. Excellent. I also came across this weird village jail. I was impressed and made sure not to feed this prisoner. After ignoring that poor villager, I made it back home safely with my stolen loot. Day 17, I summoned the courage to go back to the portal and explore the nether. However, when I went to go and light the portal, I ended up just burning myself. I think it's because of this weirdly coloured brick here. I've never seen this before, so I'll just blame that. I also lit it again just to make sure I didn't do anything wrong. After failing in life, I decided to make a friend, as it would make me feel better. My new friend was called Horse One. I think it sounds very optimistic. I made my new bestie a stable out of the nether stone that I found in the portal room. It looked quite beefy, to be honest, and I don't know why, but it makes me kind of hungry. I also decided to extend my wheat farm and add a potato farm there. I was kind of bored of eating wheat. That's cow's food. I need potatoes. Day 18, I had a visitor greet me. I'm not good with new people, so I murdered him. I decided to remove that weird purple stone. After removing that final stone, I was nearly murdered by a creeper. As you can tell, I was pretty shaken up by the whole incident. Damn creepers, always trying to kill me. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again, so I barricaded the whole area to make sure no creepers come. After dealing with all that, I replaced the weird purple stone with the normal purple stone. And I went into the nether. If you're wondering why I have my shield up, well, that's because in my first ever attempt of 100 days, this happened to me on day 56. Hey, look at that, not a bad spawn. Looks pretty safe. But let me just make it a tiny bit safer, because you can never be too safe on hardcore. Uh-oh, what have I done? It's okay, I can fix it. Oh god, what doesn't work? And now I'm on fire? I gotta get back to the portal. After teleporting back into the normal world, I ran up the stairs into the water, and I stayed completely calm. But I have a problem. I can't go back to the nether without having fire protection because I'll burn alive if I go there. God damn it. After a very stressful day, I decided to plant some pumpkin seeds on day 19, which I would never use on the rest of this playthrough. I also made a compost box, which I would use very often as it gave me bone meal, which made my crops grow way quicker. Day 20, I decided I needed a full set of diamond armor to enchant so that I could go back to the nether. So I went running downstairs to find some diamonds. I was able to find 4, which is not bad in a day. On day 21, I decided to make a start on my enchantment room, as I wasn't far off from having a full kit of diamond armor. However, I needed to get more paper, so that got me running around looking for sugarcanes. This is pretty sad to admit, but this was the only sugarcane I found the whole day. I planted 3 pieces of sugarcane by the pond next to my horse. Yes, you heard that right. 1, 2, 3 pieces of sugarcane. That's all I found in one day. As you can tell, I wasn't happy with my previous day, so on day 22 I decided to go looking for more sugarcanes. While looking, I stumbled on this new village that wasn't too far from my base. Their loot wasn't very good, but they did have bookshelves. Gimme. Screw it, I'll take that too as well for the lols. I decided to stay the night at this creepy dude's house while he was just staring at the wall the whole night. Don't mind me, I'm super tired of just robbing all you guys. Day 23, I got back on track finding sugarcane. After a very successful search, I had a full pond of sugarcanes. Hurrah! With the extra sugarcanes left over, I was able to make about 4 bookshelves for my enchantment room. Watch out Nether, I'm coming for you. Day 24, I had a plan, but needed a bridge to put this plan into motion. This bridge connected from my house to the other side of the land. I needed this land to be safe, so I lit the whole area and also lit the bridge because mama ain't raised no fool. I spent the rest of the night gathering more diamonds. Excellent, I'm nearly there. Day 25, you join me in the night where I nearly finished my secret project. It's day 26. No more suspense, I'm going to tell you what I'm making. It's a village breeding area. I know it sounds super messed up, and it is, but it is super useful, so don't judge me. Day 27, creepers. I was able to set one off, and then kill the other one. I was pretty happy, that's 2 less creepers in this world. I then lit the area because ain't nobody got time for that. I also added some more bookshelves. I'm nearly there. And tidied up my bridge for my new arrivals. Day 28, I started with some troubles first. There was this, and then there was this. That was pretty cool, but I can't be having this, so I lit the whole area again. Then I took some of my anger out on the cows. No cow must live to tell the story of the outside world. After feeling better about myself, I then completed my enchantment room. My diamond armor is ready. I enchanted the armor, but I didn't have enough levels to give myself max enchantments for each piece, so I had to wait to level up. I also moved my sugarcane farm away from the pond, and placed it where my old wheat farm was. Look at this guy riding a spider. I didn't even know that was possible. I spent the night looking around where the bad guys were coming from. Day 29 was pretty boring during the day. I spent most of the time just sorting out my inventory. Then later that night, I got shot in the back while lighting the area. Then I murdered some more creepers. Hopefully this should be the last of them. On day 30, I finally came to the village that was close to my house. I started the day by pretty much stealing all of the beds. Then I set my trap and waited for these fools to fall for it. Ha, sucker, got one. I rolled this lucky fool all the way back to my base. In no time, I had 2 very happy villagers in my breeding base. They looked pretty happy together, and so was I. I was so happy that I decided to extend my farmland so that I could give more potatoes to the villagers, as the villagers love potatoes. You'll guys see. Day 31, I started the day by failing. I then came inside my breeding area and then threw tons of potatoes at the villagers to encourage them to have a baby. Okay, I'm going to say it this time. I'm weird for watching this. But look at that cute square faced baby in its mama's backside. It's so cute! To celebrate the joyous occasion, I extended the farm again, and then walled up the whole area to look after my new villager family. I was able to enchant all my diamond armor, with even fire protection free, not too bad. Day 32, I put my gear on. I'm ready for the nether. But instead of going to the nether, I wanted to complete this idea of an underground market. Here, I would sell items to my own personal vendors, hence the name Underground Market. I really like the idea. But on the night of day 53, this villager right here was having none of it. The little sneaky guy ran off the first time I tried to trap him. Then he wouldn't go down in the hole, so I ended up just trapping him in this dirt cube. So because of that one villager, I ended up scrapping my idea of an underground market. But while I was getting rid of the underground market, I got attacked by zombies. So I ran to my bed and went to sleep. Day 34, I finished off what I was scared to do the night before. I grabbed myself another villager and placed him next to the troublemaker. I made the troublemaker into a Fletcher, as I had a lot of trees around my area, which means that I could make a lot of money, but he was charging me slightly higher, as I might have accidentally hit him. I meant it. The second guy wouldn't change his previous job, and I wasn't too sure why. This guy right here, he might need to be taken care of, if you know what I mean. Yep, that's right, I burned him alive. I'm a gangster when I want to be. Don't push me, villagers. Day 35, we had a new guy that was happy to become my second Fletcher. Day 36, and I got addicted to making money. I would chop trees to sell some sticks. Day 37, I realised I could plant more trees close to my base and chop them down to sell for even more sticks. Day 38, with all that money that I had, I needed to spend it on something. So I got myself another villager and tried to put them in the cube dirt thing, but it just didn't work out this time. Day 39, I was like, so what? This guy has extra space. As long as he gives me a good book, I don't care. And then I received sharpness 3. Not bad for my sword. The one slight problem I found is once you buy that book, that vendor will only sell that book. And that book alone. Like, I even tried to make the vendor change his jobs, but no luck. So I gave up and got myself a second vendor. I really needed to get fire resistance if I was going to go back to the nether. I was able to get mending, but I really wanted that fire resistant book. And by this time, I started questioning whether that even existed. But instead, I bought Infinity because I've always wanted an Infinity bow. But now I had a problem. I had 2 vendors that sell me stuff that I won't need all the time. So I released the guys. You thought I was going to kill them. Shame on you guys. I'm not that evil. On day 40, I got myself another villager, but this librarian thought he was so funny. So I showed the funny guy what happens when you try to be funny with me. The new guy was very well behaved, but then I got attacked from behind. I ended up nearly dying from Iron Golem. He was pretty mad about me killing that villager, but like the warrior that I am, I ran to a high place and shot him with my infinity bow until he died. On day 41, I finally got my new guy to sell me mending, but I didn't have enough money, so I had to go back to chopping some trees. On day 42, I just built the courage to go back to the nether. The lava damage wasn't even that bad, so I went around making my base nice and safe. I always like glass on the side so I can see any trouble ahead. Then on day 43, I made some more money. I needed mending on all my gear, as mending will repair all my equipment rather than giving me XP. Which I'm cool with, though during the night, I found myself in a little bit of trouble with these zombie babies. And a creeper. Okay, creeper down, what's next? You join me back on day 44, inside my nether portal. That's right, I survived the zombie babies. I didn't want to show you the footage because basically I ran away like a coward that I am. Today, I want to make a path from my house to the nether portal. I was going to use minecart. This was my first ever time that I've ever used minecarts or even redstone. So of course you joined me the next day with a completed track. It wasn't perfect, but it did work, so I was pretty happy with that. I spent the rest of the day in the nether, finally exploring the area. I took revenge on these magma cubes, as last time I entered the nether, it murdered me in the lava. On day 46, I spent the whole day mining. Let's move on, I'm not going to bore you with this. You joined me back on day 47, and I couldn't believe it. I found a nether fortress. I've never seen one of them before, and I've never been in it. So I decided to build slowly across to it. I was pretty nervous, so I didn't drop down. I knew I wasn't ready for that. Day 48, and I came back home after a very successful mission. I added some new improvements to my minecart, as the ride was a little bit slow going up. These power rails should give the boost that I need. Day 49 was a pretty relaxing day. I farmed some food, gathered some sugar cane, and got rich. I wasn't happy that I had to push my minecart each time, so I decided to upgrade it. Now it will continually go back and forward from my house to the portal, which is not bad. I also had enough money for mending book. Wait a minute, why aren't you selling it? I had to spend all day finding mending again, but I managed to do it. I made no mistake this time and bought one book. I didn't realise it was this expensive. Day 50, I started the day by mending my track as it was a little bit slow getting up the ramp still. But now you can see that it moves perfect. Whee! Yes, I'm a wee kind of guy. I spent the rest of the day in the nether. On day 51, I made a safe way from my base to the nether fortress. Then on day 52, for the first time in my life, I entered the nether fortress. My first enemy I killed was a blaze. He went down pretty easy, but I didn't like being on fire. I worked out why there were so many blazes around the area. There was a spawner right there, so like the newbie that I am, I ran away from it. On day 53, I gathered some nether warts and soul sand. I knew this stuff was useful for brewing potions, and that was about as much as I knew back then. On day 54, I see my first ever wither skeleton. You know I bowed it to death. Then after that, I made a terrible blaze farm that didn't even work. As you can see, I'm burning alive. On day 55, I realised my fire protection armor was pretty decent against blazes, so I went charging in, murdering all the blazes, and I was pretty happy with myself. I went back home with 15 blaze rods. Not bad. Day 56, I planted all the nether warts that I collected. My nether wart farm had its own special room. I thought it looked fairly cool. I also created this brewing area next to my minecart. So day 57, I spent the whole day learning how to brew potions. I made fire resistant potions. I watched the whole thing. I know it's weird to watch, but I was so excited. You gotta remember, it's my first time. Day 58 was spent chopping some trees. I was beginning to find it super relaxing after all those fiery fights. I used the wood to get some books. I now had 2 pieces of gear with mending on it. I'm halfway there. Day 59, you join me with a zombie trapped behind my vendors. Why would I want to do that? Well, if I'm to cure the zombie villager, he can offer items at a much cheaper price, and also buy items for less material, which is a win-win for me. As you can tell, this is my first attempt, and it didn't work. Like always. Day 60. I'm killing these cows for XP, not because I'm angry. I also fought these guys for the first time. They were pretty easy to kill. I also got mending on my boots. Only 1 piece of armor to go. On day 61, I made slow falling potions with the membrane of those phantoms that I killed the night before. I don't know why, but I started to believe that I could kill the ender dragon. On day 62, I murdered this enderman so that he would drop an ender pearl. Ender pearls are then used to make eyes of enders, which would then lead me to the end portal. Once I activate the end portal, I'll be able to fight the ender dragon. So the rest of the day I spent looking for more endermans and had 0 luck. So I slept in the woods that night. Wait, is that a creeper? Day 63, I made it back home after wandering around the area. I only found 1 enderman. I realised then that I needed to make one of my villagers into a cleric. As once leveled up, they had a chance of selling ender pearls. I spent all day trying to get this guy to look this way, and he wasn't budging. Then zombies showed up and dropped one of my favourite veggies to farm, carrots. But I didn't have too much time to celebrate as this murderous baby zombie came to kill me. I ran as fast as I could to my house, but this crazy little guy stopped me from entering. I was able to slow him down in the water and then tried to get some sleep but failed. So I stood there in my house waiting for the sun to come up. Day 64, I started off nearly dying to an enderman, but I managed to kill it and get an ender pearl. Nice. I also planted some carrots above my dirt palace. Double nice. Day 65, you joined me in the nether gathering some more nether bricks. I wanted to gather some stone when this big fella showed up. Like always, I ran away. But just to show how tough I am, here's me murdering some blazes. I then came back home and tidied up my nether wart base. And I even tidied up my potion room. I'm gonna be honest, I was genuinely surprised how much work I got done that day. Day 66 was not as impressive. I just chopped some trees. Day 67, I murdered the iron golem, as I didn't want him to see what I was going to do next. I lured zombies in for my second attempt at making zombie villagers. As you can tell, it didn't work properly. I think it's that stupid slab that I put there. So, I broke the slab and watched that cleric run for his life. Okay, you next, Fletcher. I want to be rich. I murdered the zombie, and I think I accidentally killed my Fletcher as well, as I couldn't see him anymore. Never mind, let's cure the cleric. When I came back, the cleric was gone too. For the love of God. Day 69, I went on a ride with my villager. Aha. I was able to trap both my villagers inside this dodgy hut that I made. Then I waited for a zombie to arrive. I had one too many zombies, so I had to deal with the group in a safe manner. Then, I lured the one zombie to my villagers. On day 70, I threw a potion and fed them both some apples, to hope that I'd kill them. Again, this is my first time doing it, so you know I watched in excitement. I now have a Fletcher that buys 26 sticks rather than 32 sticks for 1 emerald, which is not bad. I was kind of hoping for 1 stick, 1 emerald, but I googled how long that would take, and I was happy enough with this. The cleric bought 26 rotten flesh. I wasn't too fussed about that. I then got attacked by a zombie baby. God, I hate these guys, but not as much as creepers. How did he even manage to get in there? Day 71, I got my cleric to master, and surprise, surprise, guess who doesn't sell any ender pearls? Guess I gotta do this the old fashioned way. Let's go looking for some endermans. Also, a sand temple would be pretty cool if I could find one as well. I was able to find 1 enderman, and found that fighting them next to the water always works okay. I also found this cute little village. I stole the hay and then lay a bed down too early, so I end up getting up and getting robbed myself. Hey, that's my bed. Day 73, I checked on the loot. It was terrible, but I still grabbed most of it. Then I rang the bell to declare I was leaving. Then later that night, I found this little tiny sandland. No temple, but I guess I can sleep here. Day 74, and I was lost in a swamp and decided I had enough and needed to go back home. On the way back home on day 75, I found this abandoned nether portal. The loot wasn't that good, but look, there's a gold block. I came back home with 0 ender pearls and 0 temples found. I just wasted 4 days. Nice. Day 76, I wanted to make my farm a little bit more productive since I was a mess. I moved my wheat farm next to my cows so that I could feed them easier. Then moved my potato farm right next to my villager breeding area. And of course, moved my carrot farm closer to home. I don't know why I like carrots so much. I don't even like eating them in real life, unless it's in dessert. Day 77 was a safety day. I decided to wall off the area where zombie babies normally attack me when I'm selling stuff to my vendors. I also tidied up my bridge to make it look a little bit more fancier. Day 78 was spent making my room look a little bit more nicer. I thought this design was a little bit too much, so I went back to this. I decided later on to throw an ender eye. I never thrown one before, but when I did it, it didn't seem to work right. I ended up losing 2 of them. Good job me. I then took out my anger on a beehive with my bow. That didn't work, so I whacked it with my sword. I ended up getting chased by a ton of angry bees to my house. I don't even know if they do a lot of damage. I was just scared of the red eyes. Day 79, and I thought I could use a friend to help me conquer the world. However, this greedy wolf just kept eating all the flesh that I had. And like all creatures in this world, he tried to kill me. I tried to feed him the rest of the flesh that I had. He ate it, but he still hated me. I thought about killing him and then decided against it. I'm better than that. Day 80, I decided I just need a tiny bit more blaze rods. And I also wanted to test out my fire resistant potions as I never used it last time. After having the potion, I was completely unkillable. Man, I should have used this before. Day 81, I thought I'd seen something. Turned out I was tricked and nearly fell to my death. Oh god, there's a hoglin after me. Quick, get up. I ate some meat and decided to get the hell out of here. Day 82, I finally made it back home. I went on a calming fish trip all day, as I'm still recovering from a near-death experience. Thankfully, because I have level 3 feather falling boots, I was able to stay alive. Though I don't think I'm ready to fight the ender dragon. Maybe I'll do that in 200 days. You join me on day 83 with a new cleric. Don't worry, the other guy's still here for now. I mainly gathered wood all day and night. Well, I tried at night. As you can see, I have some company. On day 84, I was able to get the cleric all the way up to expert level, and he was selling ender pearls. Excellent. So you know I had to sell some sticks to buy some ender pearls. With 10 eyes of enders made, I decided it was time to find an end portal. Remember, I wasn't going to fight the ender dragon, but I did want to find the base as I've never been to it. Wow, that eyes of ender did not last long. At night time I realized I made a pretty big mistake, and that is that I didn't have my compass, and I didn't know my coordinates back home. Okay, let's not panic, let's just sleep here and deal with it tomorrow. Tomorrow came and I decided to do my mountain trick again and see if I could see any villages that I might notice. Hey, it's that village, not far from my house. Isn't this the village where I robbed the beds? Thank God, I'm close home. I was able to make it home in no time and grab my compass. Though I did decide I need to make some more eyes of enders. Day 87, I got all the way up to the ocean and realized I needed to make a base to keep horse 1 safe. I then slept next to my trusty horse 1. Day 88 and we were on an adventure. The pearl said this way, so we go this way. Whee! I also grabbed a ton of these mushrooms on the way. They're super useful for a potion. I forgot which one, but I know I need them. I spent all day following the Eye of Enders, and then end up going to sleep on this cliff. Seems safe enough. Day 89 and my PC crashed. Normally I was quite good at keeping an eye on the footage. I don't know what happened this day. I'm going to blame it on a low blood sugar because I'm type 1 diabetic. Now that you believe my pathetic excuse, let's join me back in the stronghold. Day 90, I'm inside this death trap of a stronghold. Each door just leads to death. Some of the loot that I found on day 89. I found 3 diamonds, some books in the library, and a diamond horse armor, which I was most happiest about. Also, what is this stronghold? Dealing with all the crap that was in the stronghold, I was able to find the end portal. I decided to barricade the whole thing, and sleep inside the end portal because, why not? Might as well embrace it. Day 91, I left the area. As I told you guys, I'm not ready to fight that ender dragon. Maybe in 200 days, let me know if you guys want to see that. I then made a massive tower to find this place a lot easier when I come back. While coming down, I nearly fell to my death again. I also caused a massive flood, but I was able to fix this by making a waterfall. I then made it back to my trusted horse 1 and rode back home, but then I stumbled upon a pirate ship, which had nothing to offer, so I slept right next to it. Day 92 and I'm still working on my way back home. Don't you hate it in water when you have to keep getting on and off your horse? I hate it so much. It's day 93 and I made it back home. Let's celebrate with my villagers by making them have love. You two cows, there's plenty of love for everyone. Love, 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 love. Day 94 and I decided that my sugarcane farm needed its own area. So I made it to the left of my land to keep it close and safe. I spent all night making it. I didn't have enough sugarcane to cover the whole area. With this new farm area, I will have more sugarcane than I ever did before. I'm not too sure why I need the sugarcane for, but it is fun to harvest, so good enough reason for me. Day 95, I chopped some trees. As you guys know, I find it super relaxing. I also killed some zombies because they should not bear the mess with my me time. Day 96, I started my day with my sugarcanes. Soon I'll have enough for a full field. And I chopped some trees to clear up the land in front of my villages. And I finally managed to get mending on all my gear. Then I found this zombie in my nether wart farm. Not cool, dude. Day 97, and I finally made myself a storage room. I struggled putting labels on my chest. It was my first time working it out. It took me a while, but I realised I needed to press shift to actually put the label on. On day 98, it was raining, so I decided to fish on my bridge. But then I realised to myself, maybe I should make an actual fishing area. So I made a new fishing area next to my sugarcane farm. Now I'm able to fish in the safety and the comfort of my own space. Then later that night, I decided to murder the pointless cleric that I had. I wasn't too sure if the iron golem seen what I did. Just to be on the safe side, I decided to murder him too. Day 99, and I got myself a farmer villager. He bought both carrots and potatoes. I'm gonna be so rich. Day 100, I made it. I spent the day showing off some of my favourite spots. You know I was going to spend the whole day going up and down my minecart. I also checked out the enchantment room. I'm glad the room looks nice because the enchantments that it gave were terrible. I also checked out my carrot farm and my nether wart farm. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty proud of my nether wart farm. I think it looks pretty cool. And of course, my new fishing area. Look at that view. And that's the end of the video, guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider leaving me a like. And also please do subscribe. It really means a lot. On my next video, I did want to ask you guys what you want to see next. I'm considering doing a super flat world, 100 days on hardcore course, and trying to complete the game from a super flat world. Or if you guys really do want to see it, I could do 200 days carrying on from this playthrough here. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer to see, and I'll let you guys know which one I pick in the comments below. I just want to say thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you guys below in the comments.